Welcome to my YouTube channel, One Race, the Human Race, All Human. It's very important for the Democratic Party and all Democrats to remind the American people that not one Republican voted for the American Rescue Act. That means not one Republican voted for the Child Credit Tax Program, which now has money going into the bank accounts of working class, middle class families throughout this country on the 15th of each month, which needs to be permanently expanded. All people on this planet known as Earth have a right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness.
And to give you a sense of how transformative this would be the largest ever one-year decrease in child poverty in the history of the United States of America, as we begin now. Historic reductions in child poverty among white, black, and Latinos and AAPI communities. It's not even close. The benefits will be felt for years.
The president there touting his administration's expansion of the child tax credit for most American families with children. However, the monthly payments expire at the end of the year. Among the congressional Democrats pushing to make them permanent, Pennsylvania Representative Chrissy Houlihan. Representative, as these payments start hitting bank accounts, families add this income to their budget. So many of them are wondering if these payments are going to continue. Your sense of what is going to be necessary to ensure that this policy becomes permanent?
Well, I'm hopeful, and first of all, thank you for having me. And in terms of the child tax credit, I'm hopeful that people will appreciate these tax credits, which I think will help elevate hundreds of millions of American children and their families. And I hope that they'll receive that tax credit and realize that this is something that elevates their family, but also, frankly, elevates our society and our country as well. So I'm hoping there'll be a push from the American people. And I'm also hoping that the push that is already happening within the Congress will be successful and will be able to make these tax credits permanent.
Right. I mean, we're talking about this as one piece of it. You, of course, are also fighting for a paid family and medical leave as a part of this debate over infrastructure. Tell me how you see those two policies connecting.
Sure. So what we saw with the pandemic, I think very much firsthand and with very much fresh eyes, was just how important the care economy is, and the care community and caregivers of our nation are. We saw that without them, we really all struggled to be effective and functioning families and communities and a nation. And so what we're hoping is that we have the opportunity now with the infrastructure package and the subsequent family and jobs packages to really talk about and codify this concept of family and medical leave, to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to have access to that kind of leave. Right now, it's estimated that 79% of our workers don't have access to paid family leave. And I think it's estimated that 60% of our workers don't have access to medical leave either. And these are things that are fundamental to being able to be a successful worker and a successful member of the family. And so I'm hopeful that in whatever package we're able to put this into, that we're able to take a very large coalition of us and make this happen and make this a reality.
I keep circling back to the same point, and I'm sure that viewers who watch every weekend are growing tired of hearing me say this, but I feel it so deeply that I got to underscore it, which is if coming out of a global pandemic, right, where people were forced to, if they were able to keep their jobs, to also be caretakers in tandem, whether that was caretakers of children or caretakers of parents, where we saw just our child care industry. There's a reason that analysts called it a failed market. It is not working for the child care providers. It is not working for parents. I mean, all of this was exposed and laid bare. And you would think that if there is not the political will to do this in this moment, that there may never be.
And I'm hoping that there is the political will. It certainly is popular with the American people, and I think the American people recognize how important this is. I and about 80 other members of my caucus were able to put together a letter emphasizing the importance of paid family and medical leave in whatever subsequent packages we're moving forward on. And that's a broad and vast coalition that has been led by our chairwoman DeLauro for a very, very long time. And now, because of the pandemic, might be the chance and the opportunity that we have to be able to build a much more robust and much more inclusive economy that works for everyone. And I think that that's been something that I hope we've all seen with the pandemic. what we're seeing right now is that women in the workplace are at their, I think, a 30-year low at this point in time in terms of our ability to participate. And of course, family and medical leave is not just a woman's issue, but it is a family issue as well. And so this is something that I think its time has come. I think if you're building an entire economy that's inclusive of everyone, you need to make sure you're including 51% of the population, which are the population that are women. And so I'm hopeful that we have the opportunity to catch lightning in a bottle right now and make this a reality.
All right, Congresswoman Houlihan, thank you so much for your time tonight. Next,
You're
wild
welcome.
weather before our very eyes, the result of a changing climate. Two women working to address the leadership crisis they say caused it. They're here next.